There's an old saying, there's three things that you're not supposed to talk about: politics, religion, and money. I'm here to talk about one of those things: politics. Hi, my name is Samantha, and I'm a 10th grader in high school. This year, my English teacher had given us a project. The project is to pick a social justice topic and make some kind of video or blog to spread awareness. My topic is politics in school. More specifically, elementary, middle, and high school, and how it should be handled, and what students think, as well as teachers. In 8th grade, I had a social studies teacher, and during that time, there was a controversial political topic. He decided to bring it up in class. It started out as a discussion and then led into a debate, which led into an argument. It ended up with him telling me that I was just trying to get a rise out of the class and that I needed to be open to his opinions and that he was done listening to my thoughts, which is kind of hypocritical, saying that I need to be open to his thoughts, but he was done listening to mine. This made me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel that he was going to give me a bad grade, was going to dislike me or treat me worse than the other students because of this one incident. And it made me afraid to talk about politics because I didn't want to get into a fight and make people dislike me. What classes do you teach and what grades usually take those classes?
I teach regular, honors, and AP government. And as long as a kid doesn't fail the class, 9th graders.
I teach drama 1, 2, and 3, and it's all grades 9 through 12.
I teach AP US, that's mostly 11th graders. I teach world history, which is mostly 10th graders. And I teach law in America, and that can be a variety of, probably mostly juniors and seniors with a few 10th graders.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 9th school year.
20 years, all here at North Hartford.
This is 25 years.
How do you approach talking about politics in school, if you do at all?
Politics is hard to avoid, given what I teach. I try to stay as neutral as possible. Given my own personal feelings, I am pretty neutral. However, sometimes on certain issues, it is more difficult than others. I also try to allow students the freedom to speak their opinions on policy. And so they feel like at least we accept their ideas as well.
I don't generally bring it up. Sometimes it will become a topic in a scene or a performance, and we try to mostly keep politics out of drama class. But every now and then, as an artist or a performer, your current culture, your current times shape a lot of the art you create. So sometimes it becomes relevant, but we try to be sensitive to all sides and respectful to all sides, bottom line.
In presidential races, try to talk about the two major candidates and what they've been doing lately. When we, in my regular classes, especially AP US, we'll talk about the president and past presidents as they relate to our subject. So if I can find tie-ins between the past and the current administration, whether that be now President Trump or whether it was President Obama, if I can make connections between their actions and actions of previous presidents and just make comparisons, I'll do that as often as I can.
Do you feel that talking about politics should be allowed in some, all, or no classes? Why or why not?
I think it should be taught in and discussed in certain classes. I think also sometimes the conversation in any class lends itself in that direction, which means that sometimes it becomes a teachable moment for us and we just kind of run with it. Not always in those instances is it brought up by the teacher necessarily, but sometimes it is a good idea for the teacher to go ahead and use that time to take care of and discuss a political issue.
Like, is there a certain subject that is more like suitable for?
I mean, I guess social studies is, and I know I don't mean to be like biased in that opinion. I think social studies just lends itself for the more opportunities. That doesn't mean that in science, if the EPA came out with a new policy, that it's not something that should be discussed there. If a student asks a question and the teacher wants to make sure and have the students understand that, I think that that's okay too. Or even in English, if the school systems are starting to ban books, for instance, it's not something that should be off limits just because it's in English. If it suits that class, I think it's absolutely appropriate for the teacher to take the time.
When talking about politics in school, do you feel that teachers should talk about it in a certain way?
I think there's a certain amount of professionalism, absolutely. I think that we need to be respectful of all views, whether they differ from ours or not. And our job is not to project our personal beliefs on our students, but to help them be informed and make their own decisions, intelligent decisions.
How do you think students are affected when their teachers talk about politics?
How do I think students are affected when what?
When teachers talk about politics?
How are they affected?
Yeah.
Probably no differently than when teachers talk about math, when they talk about English, or the weather, or scientific terminology. I mean, I don't think politics necessarily is going to affect them any differently than anything else.
Would you say that the majority of the student body is comfortable talking about politics? Why or why not?
I think that you guys are comfortable. I don't know that you guys are necessarily as knowledgeable as, I don't know that that word for should is the right word, but you guys just don't know. You're not into that. You're into, your phones or your computers or something like that. And you're just not knowledgeable about the issue. I think you guys want to know. However, I think that teenagers in general, and I'm not even going to say nowadays, because when I was a teenager, I wasn't into it either. So, care that much. And so you just don't have the knowledge base for it.
Do you feel there is an issue with politics in school? Why or why not?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I think there's potential to be issues. Again, I really think it's all in how professionally you handle it and how much you project your own personal views into the conversation. I think we need to encourage students to be informed and to communicate and debate ideas intelligently and respectfully. I think it's really important because the times are very divisive, that we learn that we can disagree on a lot of things, but we probably have a lot more common ground than we realize. And if we really talk about it and listen to one another, and we do it in respectful ways, we can be better served as a community and a society. But I think that it's tricky waters to navigate, especially in these really divisive times. So like I said, I try to stay away from it mostly, and when it comes up, I try to make sure that we're looking at all angles and that I'm not projecting my personal views, but allowing for dialogue that is respectful communication and more issue-based than political party, I would guess.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope that helps.
Okay,
Alrighty?
thank you. The first survey question was, do you feel you are able to freely share your political opinion in the classroom? The second question is, do you feel political discussions about current issues should be allowed in the classroom? The third question is, do you feel most of the teachers are more liberal, more conservative, more neutral, evenly mixed, or you don't know? The fourth question was, do you feel most of the student body is comfortable with sharing their political opinions in the classroom setting? The fifth question was, how many of your teachers have shared their political leanings in a classroom setting this school year? The sixth question was, when talking about politics in a classroom setting, do you feel your teacher should be neutral / play devil's advocate? The final question is, what is your grade level? From this research, I've learned that instead of maybe changing the way a teacher talks about politics in the classroom, they should teach the students how to discuss properly. Because when you're out in the real world, out of high school, when you're an adult, you're not gonna have these rules about how to talk about politics. Instead, you're just gonna have to discuss controversial topics with people in your job, your friends, your family. And knowing how to do a proper discussion is really important and could really help you when you're an adult. So there's 3 things you're not supposed to talk about. Well, maybe politics isn't one of those. Instead, maybe we should discuss politics in school, in our home, with our friends, but discuss, not debate, not argue. So you can get others' thoughts and opinions, because politics will always be there. Thank you. Bye.